Wasugusa wutie ne anopei. Se said ye beko Newton Lartey ho na fe what did you biano and so the mind Newton where ready anopei den na wo e de emaye.
Good morning.
Ghana Premier League
has returned.
Yeah.
Now, Osha over the weekend, a lot of surprising scoreline and a buyer. And of course, has folk lose to Bechem United. In a performance, it me elevated Bechem from the mid-table, Edwama Baby do top 4. To see a can was other areas, to sell Dromas, so Ehu, Kumasa, Santa Cottico, or pick a vital point. But first of all, Yendi the most surprising scoreline of the weekend. Bechem United are Ottawa, Accra has folk Cape Coast Stadium based on the fact that Accra Sports Stadium no enyanya ready for football action. Pitch no IBB Kakra. But game no air question no we say you observe some minutes of silence. Edema arguably one of the greatest players of football ebetimi ehu in the name of Edson Arantes do Nascimento in Pele. Onona observing minute of silence edema. What I really observed Bechem and has for game now look at something here. Now has folk bought in a formation like the diamond with Ben York and Obin Jr. in the final third, like two strikers. Made them for no so Ubenya Salifu Ibrahim so it won't feel be. But they lost great of that midfielder, not just always has folk midfield now and more very dominant power from last 2 seasons coach some of even this season under Matic. They've always shown say the 4-4-2 diamond was Salif Ibrahim at the tip of the base. So realizing something, say always has folk caught the final tether or more try say or more pushy or more lateral at their support or more offensive trip. But Osha at this point you have about just 2 players per anywhere. Make 2 centre backs in Sowa and Zachary. So these 2 players at this point Ubabusa said full backs the left back in Okan and then the right back Samuel Inkum. So for Bechem United, it's always been the 4-3-3 where we have 3 quality forwards. Obenya Konkoni Wahase, Obenya Emmanuel Avonyo and Cephas Mante, the new young chap getting the 5th goal of the season. So Bechem a parody with 3 quality strikers. Now one thing I was actually so game room say always now has folk lose balls in the middle of the pitch, where Bechem United sat very deep in a 4-1-4-1. So who say back 4 no, and I say no about Benya attacking 4 na air body Vest guy as a lone DM, and then you have Hafiz Konkoni as a lone striker. So the shield and the focus 4-1-4-1 no now a year Juma without the ball for Bechem United. What you need to realize the counter attacking situation now has folk omota put your in. So you have about 1, 2, 3, 4 players of Bechem United. How many players of the rainbow colors can you find here? Just 1 in Zachary. So as has a call Bechem United so now but whenever they lose the ball in 10 overs, not just say almost structure individually. Now talking about Okan and I say Zachary, he's the only defender left. So count to Bechem, you have another 2 Bechem players here. No one has Zachary Pedawa. At this point, but the first thing he did was to analyze the movement of Ayi. But at this point, Ayi can in no way join this defensive trip. Based on the fact that you have 2 players. So on moving from box on and understand go area or bar at the assembly. So and the second view of Zachary, they say, or 10 shares first man in possession. Now the ref is a Konkoni, agent cheaper. And this is the kind of delicate situation. I don't know about to say, where a lone defender. At this point, a better rich eye Epiaba. Opiaba, you have Konkoni here. And so when PSO Ama or narrow angle no at the massive fast Mante. Brilliant connection from Sevan Mante. Look at that delivery. And Babi on the board to it. I mean, no connection from Ayi whatsoever. Because Babi Ojinano, as a goalkeeper, first of all, I keep saying it's a ball you're considering in sequences. They lost the ball in midfield. They couldn't recover. You have about 2 players as against 1 defender. And of course, the goalkeeper himself. But at this point, the ball free banner. That is the position of Okan. Okan is back there or attack when Timia recover. Now the second thing, a DM Eso Ewa. So that area now lose Okan, Asaso lose Eso. And it forced Zachary to open up and cater for that angle. But Nechipe na Konkoni Hafiz so Odenechi. And this was another second goal. So first goal who on the right side of the channel for Bechem United, which is the left back position in Okan area. But at this point, this is Samuel Nkum's position, the right back. And Hasfolk as well lose ball. So in the transition to attack for Hasfolk, they kept losing the balls. Now, to me, in my view, this is the best one-on-one situation, sir. Masha away league we say. And for the second time, how many players of Kessben United can you count here? 1, 2, 3, 4. As against 3 for Hasfolk. Even with that 3, 2 per and a walk just ahead of the ball. So this guy here is never part of the mathematics or the equation. In Bafi is out of the equation. But you have about just 2 players, Insoa and then Zakaria from All Blacks. These 2 players pen Akachi. So Matic, what is really your structure, especially when you lose the ball? Because for the second time, I mean, one of the best one-on-one situations, and you can count about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players for Hasfolk. But trust me, they don't have the control of the situation. Control, we say there, Emmanuel Avonyo, because he has the ball in possession. But one thing was the movement of Hafiz Konkoni. Nobody catered for his movement right from deep midfield onto set or connected ball now or the 2 more. Now talking about where they lost the ball, then you'll be asking a question, say Hafiz Konkoni or Hefa. This is Hafiz Konkoni, the position. Now you really need to understand, say, whenever you have situations at hand like this, or your recovery processes is so limited, especially when you have to deal with a player like Emmanuel Avonyo. Look at that one-on-one situations against Zakaria. I mean, at said the Messi, Eddie Jerome Boateng, he wanted to dribble inside and not dribble outside. You can't be defending set situations, especially when attacker know a lot about profile where Ofilisa had the ball. They had a consolation goal through Salifu Ibrahim. And it was all down to, set pieces and free kicks. One of them, Kessben United would have to be very much careful. In fact, if a person will stay or top 4-1, they won the first ball. Goalkeeper in that form. You've seen their goalkeeper here. And this pace within the box, and I'm going to drop it the second ball. But kudos to their recovery men. This ball was never on target. It was blocked. But what you need to realize is how we're dealing with the first ball and then the second ball. In defending situations, every single position of the ball is so vital. And Kessben United and Shannon so because from this corner, they considered from that same pattern. First ball will be dealt with, but where is the second ball? It's at the back of the net from the foot of Robert Soa Ado, Hasfolk defender. So Kessben couldn't deal with the second ball, but Soa was at the right spot, at the right position, and with a weaker foot, and or bury this ball at the 2 at the back of. So that is a ball in the position of no man's land, I should say, and Soa kill this ball. There was another game at so Eldoma, and if a Brennington or Salba Twaswa, hopefully you may add much now, we can bring that game and the little tidbits a Sekotoko, Edi Hujwa, and that's the game we have. So if Ohinaba say, oh, Brennan Twaswa, or Daruma, or say, oh, Chahuna, you may add much
Yanshe Kotokoni Diana game no Twaso, Yanshe no Suso.
All right, so Ohinaba Osha Doma game now, it's always been a game for the history books. Kotoko Evercity Doma has always been a very, very tough fixture. The rivalry has been established. And any moment, Biana pick a point out of this fixture, Yana a very, very good at the mouth. For Kotoko to lose a goalkeeper like Dan Ladd, it was like a panic at the first place. Game we say, Ebeko, but they did their best and making sure every single actioner, Bechembe put it in place. Sorry, Adriana put it in place. Our pitch, they had an antidote, especially through that young chap, Frederick Asari. He joined the club last season and or panic mode because in and out of the ball, not or panic or try so bad. She said the defense and Koyemano. But one thing I make Shannon so power game room say Adriana kept knocking each and every time on Beba box room, and especially chunk part of their chances were created from set pieces and yet from open play. Open play they're not into me Kotoko, except one of these few issues where crosses were sent into the box. But Kotoko would have to be very careful. I mean, how they defend within their box and show Nema Bebre one over to attribute to make us a technical inconsistency. And now a Mubarak and a Justice Blay, or China a Mubarak and Yapo, or China a Pony Maxwell. So this kind of foundation building inconsistencies, it will defend so and Yadia Buakotokopa. Now look at this chance. I'll take you back in a while and talk about this chance at Kotoko. It's me man or more a defense and allow how many players can we count here from Adriana? So if there should be a quality cutback like it happened, then you are considering from this angle. Then two, on about so we'll share it closely. Bunny say no, we are asking a question of the position of the goalkeeper. Now, at this point, say me busa one key question. The position of Frederick Asari Emmanuel team placing who he defended this ball. So he's just at the first pole. And these are some of the situations yet you have about 3 players here who are at the position of receiving a very, very quality ball from the cutback. Now, Eban is saying, how do you defend this as a goalkeeper? You have been exposed by your structure. So I think going forward, Kotoko took a point out of this game, but there were a lot of warning signs. And some percent, in fact, or more actually say, and now I think they should do a lot about it. One-on-one situations, it was quite easier to maneuver their way through for Adriana. They really used a lot of flanks in terms of their chances creation. And now I have to talk about. You see, you say Justice Blake or struggle so bit to me, I recover. And of course, they got a point out of Doma, but I think going forward, their left and their right channels, those laterals, would have to be worked on, repair certain things. And Sana Omatimi, as I said, Adriana did their best, but in fact, Kotoko also did a lot of work on about Etimima Munya at this point at the free honorable buy. And there were a lot of things Adriana Ayen right, especially across the length of the game. But points from Doma, it's like 3 points. I think Kotoko did well. On about your first game is so insure.
Yay, Newton Lartey, and you're turning kind of Kotoko versus Adriana Stars and the goalless.